The purpose of this video is to show you how to add a bird to Loft Manager Online using your desktop computer. In the Loft Manager Online dashboard, you'll find three Add Bird buttons. The first of which you see on the screen now on the far right-hand side is on the My Birds tab. There is also an Add Bird button on the Main tab, which you can see here on the left-hand side, and there is also an Add Bird button on the Pedigree tab, which is not yet enabled. The Pedigree, Progeny, and Pairing tabs will become enabled upon adding your first bird. It's worth noting that if you click on one of these tabs and you don't have any birds in your database yet, you'll be prompted to add your first bird to your database. It's also worth noting that if you click on a band number for a sire or dam that isn't already in your database, you'll be prompted to add that sire or dam. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'll click on the Add Bird button, and as you can see on the screen, we have the Add Bird form. And I'll go over each of these fields one at a time here. The first is the bird number, or also the band number for the bird. And I'll go ahead and type in a generic band number here to get started. You'll notice that when I type the band number for this bird, it's all in uppercase. The band numbers, the sire and dam fields will force uppercase letters. For description, you'll want to go ahead and type in a description of the bird, detailed description. I'm going to type in some information here. California. The color. This particular field here, the color field, is actually suggestive type enabled, as well as the strain, sire, dam, location, breeder, and status. All of those fields are suggestive type enabled. What that means is, as you progressively add more birds to your database, these fields will actually prompt you or suggest to you options in a drop-down list based on previously entered birds. So for example, if I type in color blue bar for this particular bird, the next bird that I enter, as I start to type the letters B, L, U, E, for example, blue bar will actually become an option for me to choose from in a drop-down list. It's just a convenient way of saving you some time so that you don't have to fully type out a strain or status or sire or dam on subsequent bird entries. So for sex, this here actually has a hotkey. You can actually type just the letter C and it'll populate with cock, or you can type letter H for hen, or if you don't know, you can just type in letter U and it'll populate the field with unknown. So we'll go ahead and type letter H, which populates the field with hen. Strain, let's go ahead and put in Sablon, and I'll type in sire. My keyboard just lost connection. There we go. Protege 111210. Type in a dam. Once again, these fields here are also suggestive types, so as you progressively add more and more birds, these fields will dynamically provide a drop-down list with prompting you to select a band number for a previously entered bird. Just a way of saving some time. It's kind of a shortcut so that you don't have to type everything out again. Location, we're just going to put in loft. Breeder. Let's just put in a generic name there. A status, we'll put in, let's just put in breeder. And then for the comments, we can just put in just a super pigeon. Now, one new feature that we've added to the pedigree comments, is that you now have the ability to add emojis. So clicking on the emoji icon on desktop will prompt you with basically a number of different emojis that you can add. So I'll just go ahead and add a happy face here. And you also have the ability to bold text. So for example, if I wanted to bold Super Pigeon, I could just select it, click on bold, and now that that content has been placed in bold text. All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next section, which is notes. You can type in notes here optionally. You can type in race info if desired. And finally, we'll click on save. And the bird has been added to your database. You'll notice in the background here that we now have the bird that we just entered is now displaying in the data table. Before I close this out, though, I want to point out a few added features here. The strain, sire, and dam are actually automatically populated with the information from the previously entered bird. So if you're adding multiple birds sequentially, it's an added value benefit to have these fields automatically populated if they have the same strain, sire, and dam, so that you don't have to retype this information. So I can close this out. And as I previously mentioned, if a sire or dam isn't already in your database and you click on one of these band numbers, it will prompt you to add that particular bird to your database. You'll also notice that the pedigree, progeny, and pairing tabs are now enabled. Going back to the pedigree tab, you can see we have an add bird button on the pedigree tab as well, which I previously mentioned. And that's essentially how you add a bird. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.